For more than a century, the world built transportation systems around fossil fuels, which is crude oil. Millions of years ago, Earth's oceans were full of tiny organisms like algae, plankton, and other microscopic life. They died and were buried under the ocean, and over the millions of years, Earth's pressure and heat changed them into crude oil. From crude oil, we make so many transportation fuels. This includes diesel, gasoline, and many other fuels. You put gasoline or diesel into the vehicle, it moves everything. Good, right? But in reality, it's actually not good in the long term. As we rely on crude oil for our transportation, it's been creating so many problems. And it's only going to get worse if we don't fix it. When we burn crude oil-related fuels, they release CO2 into the atmosphere, and that is not a good thing. Under normal conditions, when sunlight reaches Earth, it warms the planet. Plants use some of that energy, and the remaining heat eventually escapes back into space. That's how the system should work. But when more CO2 enters the atmosphere, it makes it harder for some of that heat to escape quickly into space. It's essentially delaying the release of heat. Because of this trapped heat, our planet is getting hotter and hotter. As temperatures rise, glaciers and ice sheets melt, causing sea levels to rise. And this affects us and other animals on the planet as well. This is a polar bear in the Arctic. Look at its stomach, guys. It looks so thin, doesn't it? Polar bears usually eat seals, and they use the sea ice as a hunting ground to catch them. But as the ice melts, it becomes harder for them to hunt seals. And it's not just polar bears. Climate change affects all of us as well. Islands have started disappearing around the world due to rising sea levels. People are being forced to migrate to different places, and some are losing their homes. Some low-lying islands in places like the Solomon Islands are already experiencing severe erosion, flooding, and loss of habitable land. And people living near coastal areas are experiencing flooding more often. Have you ever felt like summer is lasting way too long? I've definitely had that feeling, guys. So if this trend continues, people living near the coast could lose their homes, and we could experience more extreme events like floods and other climate-related disasters. That's the climate change problem, guys. Scientists point to the burning of crude oil and other fossil fuels as a major source of the high levels of CO2 entering our atmosphere. Elon Musk started realizing all of this too, and he began to realize that if this trend continues, it could be a serious problem for our future.
You know, we're really playing a crazy game here with the atmosphere and the oceans. We're taking vast amounts of carbon from deep underground and putting this in the atmosphere. This is crazy. We should not do this. It's very dangerous. So we should accelerate the transition to sustainable energy.
And the second problem, and we can't rely on crude oil forever, guys. Eventually, we are going to run out of oil anyway in the future.
I mean, the bizarre thing is that obviously we're going to run out of oil in the long term. You know, there's only so much oil we can mine and burn. It's tautological. We must have a sustainable energy transport and energy infrastructure in the long term. So we know that's the end point. We know that. So why run this crazy experiment where we take trillions of tons of carbon from underground and put it in the atmosphere and oceans? This is an insane experiment. It's the dumbest experiment in human history.
If you think about it, it makes sense because oil is a limited resource. It's not unlimited. As we take more and more oil from the earth, eventually it's going to become harder and more expensive to extract. So it's not a sustainable energy source to rely on forever. But if we take electricity, that can come from renewable sources because we have the sun. Using solar panels, batteries, and other renewable energy technologies, we can build a more sustainable energy system for the future. So, the goal is to solve these two main problems: reduce our dependence on crude oil and provide sustainable energy for the future. This is where Elon Musk and Tesla come in. All Tesla cars run on electricity. Tesla started producing vehicles like the Model 3, Model Y, Cybertruck, and several others. Elon Musk mainly started the Cybertruck to target the pickup truck market in the US, which is huge. If we look at traditional pickup trucks, they rely on gasoline engines to power them, but the Cybertruck is a fully electric vehicle. But currently, it's not doing very well, guys. Elon Musk's intentions may be focused on helping humanity, but the Cybertruck is actually struggling to compete with traditional pickup trucks in the market right now. I made a video about that. I'll provide the link in the comments, so check it out if you want to learn more.